Homesteaders, how we doing? I hope this finds everybody doing well. Welcome back to Ruby Homestead. This is Nikki, and today I'm gonna bring you a canning video. So, to get started, get my bag of goodies here. Today we're gonna be canning tomato sauce, or pasta sauce rather, with these. They're Roma tomatoes. They're not all that small. They vary in size. There's some bigger ones. There's smaller ones. But I'm going to start by dumping my bucket of tomatoes in the sink to be washed. Alright, so I dumped my tomatoes in the sink. That's not all of them. It'll take me a couple rounds to get all this worked up. In the meantime, I have a big pot of water boiling. What you're going to do is you're going to put the tomatoes in the pot of water. You're going to boil it till the skin starts to peel around it. You're going to run it through my fantastic machine here. We're going to get to cracking on some sauce because I'm running out of time today, as usual. We are going to put the tomatoes on in the pot of boiling water, but first, the tomatoes with bad spots. Before they go into there, I'm going to cut them out if I have to, discard them if I have to. Just depends what all is going on with that tomato. Alright, so this one can be saved, but you don't want any of that black stuff in there. So I'm going to cut a good bit of it off. Now, a lot of people will actually core their tomatoes. Okay, so now see, there is nothing wrong with the inside of that. I'm just going to toss it in my bin. Move on to the next one. Anything that looks like it could cause me a problem later, I'm getting rid of. A lot of people will just throw them out, and I don't blame them. I just feel like I can save some of these, so I'm going to. Remember, waste nothing. However, if you were to mess up and get some of this rot in here, it could potentially mess up your whole batch. So be really careful with what you're doing. Like this one, I'm just going to cut that wedge out of it. I'm not going to do that to all of them, just the ones I think need it. A lot of people will actually core their tomatoes, but last year I found out you don't need to do that with the Cucina Pro. You probably should, but you don't have to. Now, I'm going to drop these over here in my boiling water. Now, most of these tomatoes are Roma tomatoes. They are a paste tomato, so they are made for pasta sauce, ketchup, paste, all that stuff. They don't have as much juice, and they don't have quite as many seeds. So that's what they're mainly used for. Now I'm going to put a lot in this because they will not all be ready at the same time. Some of them take longer. I'm not sure if it's how ripe they are, how big they are, what kind they are. I would say that it all kind of plays a factor in how fast the skin busts. So now I'm going to let those boil and let the skin bust, and then we'll come back. I'll throw them in here and we'll get to it. Okay, so now, if you look, you can tell that it's peeling. You see that? It's just peeling right off. So I'm going to fill this up, and the water's going to drain out of it. That gives me time while I'm filling it up. The excess water will drain into this little pan. I'll dump the little pan, and then we'll go from there. Most of this is water. There you go. You should be able to see there. Okay, so I'm just going to pour it out. Put it right under here. Now, in case you have not figured out, this is going to be a very messy process. So let's begin. Okay, I'm going to show you as we get to the bottom what this machine actually does, okay? Again, It's called a Cucina Pro. That's how to spell it. And I'm not an affiliate of Cucina Pro. I just think it's a fabulous product. I got mine off Amazon. The sauce comes out right here and comes into this tray. And then the rest of it comes out here. Now, but wait, there's more. What we're gonna do, we're gonna drain this water because it'll make the cooking process go so much faster if you get all the water you can out. Take the back end of a butter knife and we're just gonna put it in that little catch-all tray. And we're gonna scoop everything out so it don't drip as much. We'll minimize the mess that way. You're gonna carefully take this tray and dump it in your pot. You're going to turn your pot on and you're going to consistently stir it until it starts boiling rapidly. But we have enough time to get a little more out of it. So I strained some of that water and we're going to run it through again. And you'll be surprised at how much you get by running this through 2 or 3 times. Waste not, want not. And it'll cook down quite a bit as you go start cooking it. So you want to get everything that you can out of it. Because if you're not going to get everything you can, why do it? The only thing I don't like about this machine is it leaks through the handle, but that's not really a big deal. We got half a pan just by running that excess through. So you're going to dump it in your pot. That's what I mean by busted. Do you see where the skin is? There you go. Okay, so I'm just going to do all of that to all the tomatoes, and I'll show you what it looks like as it's cooking. So now that we have our tomatoes just about done, I'm going to start chopping up some peppers. Right, meanwhile, I'm going to constantly be stirring the sauce, okay, so it doesn't stick to the bottom. Chances are it probably will anyway, but just in case, I want to try to keep that from happening. Okay, so I'm going to stir it. I'm also going to give the tomatoes in the pot a stir. Try and make them bust faster. And then there are some impurities that start to come out of the tomatoes. And it's just really weird, thick looking stuff on the top. I don't know that it would hurt it, but just to be sure, I'd rather just go ahead and skim it off the top. Just get as much as you can. Pour it out. If you can multitask while you're doing this, you'll be better off. If not, go ahead and cut your peppers beforehand. That way they can be cooking in the sauce while it's cooking down. Okay, so it's getting late. I'm putting water in my canner and getting ready to can up the pasta sauce. So you want to keep your jar as clean as possible. This is a little more runny than I would like it, but like I said, it's getting late. I've got a ton of stuff to do tomorrow, so I'll just have to suck it up when I cook it and cook it down a little farther. So you're going to fill it to about right here. You can fill it up above here, but 9 times out of 10 I've found that they tend to boil over with the pasta sauce if you do that much. Okay, so you're going to set this guy out of the way. And grab another. Now I put peppers, mushrooms, and a little bit of onion in here. And some minced garlic. And oregano. And Italian seasoning and salt and pepper. Put some onion powder and garlic salt. Okay, so when you get your jars filled up for that round, you're going to take a wet paper towel or a cloth, and you are going to wipe the rims. Make sure there's no cracks, no anything on top that would break the seal. Okay, so now I've got my water boiling over here. We're going to take a lid. You can reuse them, it does work. Drop them in. Over. Put on there. Add a ring. Set it in your can. Same thing. Just for a few seconds. It loosens that gasket up, the hot water does, and then it forms to the jar. You don't want to like wrench them down, but you don't want it loose either, so just kind of finger tight. Put the lid on. Now I have an electric pressure canner. You can use this thing for a lot of stuff. They've got soup, meat and stew, bean and chili, poultry, yogurt, all these, whatever they are. I haven't used those yet. You have rice, multigrain, porridge, steam, saute, but that's not what we want. We want the pressure. I hit pressure, and I'm going to do this for 30 minutes, and you just let it go. Be sure that your weight up here is closed, and the thing does the rest. It cuts itself off, it depressurizes itself. It's awesome. Alright, well that's pretty much all you do. All that's left now is to take them out, and all you do for that, be sure you set it on a towel, not on a cold counter. You're going to take the lid off and let it cool down for just a few minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes-ish. Maybe not even if you're in a hurry. We're going to use these things, and they just grip around like that. Thanks for watching Ruby Homestead. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.